if you've ever owned a sun shroud to protect the windshield of your car, well, Acer included a shroud for their monitor to protect the screen, and it is very awesome. This is some next level shit right here. What is going on, YouTube? SpawnKiller97 here, and this is the first review of this monitor on YouTube, which I'm very proud to do. So this is the Acer Predator XB321HK. What this thing packs is a 32-inch IPS display. It has 4K, 2K, 1080p, any resolution obviously, but the downfall, in my opinion, is that it's only limited to 60 Hz. But then again, with G-Sync, 60 Hz doesn't really look like 60 Hz. You have to experience it in order to actually take advantage of G-Sync. It feels like it's more in like the 75 Hz refresh rate kind of deal when I'm playing competitively. And it's just ridiculous. I mean, even if this thing's at like 30 frames per second, it's usually anywhere from 5 to 10 frames more than I think it is when I'm trying to torture my graphics card, which is, by the way, the Asus Strix GTX 980 Ti. So this thing is ridiculous. It has an ergonomic stand, so you can have it, you know, in the landscape position or the vertical portrait position. And this thing, you can't pivot it very much. Like, you can't tilt it from this way to get a better viewing angle. You know, it's stuck with one position, but it is Visa compatible, so you can have one of those stands on there. And this is all metal right here. The mount is a freaking metal, so it's amazing. This right here is plastic. It doesn't move too much. When you like pound on the desk, it doesn't move that much. The mount is very, very, very good quality. And the screen itself is 24 pounds without the base mount. Not the base mount, the ergonomic mount. And it's 32 inches, $1,300 retail. And most of you would think, you know, why would you spend that much money when you can get a 28-inch 4K G-Sync from the same company? I'd say touche, but this is 32 inches. It's for people that want to get that extra 3 to 4 inches of real estate. It's usually the sweet spot for most 4K gamers is 32 inches. And not only does this thing have G-Sync, but this thing, like I said before, it's an IPS panel. So this thing, I've stressed out my graphics card to the point where it would crash on BIOS. Yeah, not crash the desktop, crash on BIOS. And I probably shouldn't be doing that, but I really wanted to see what my computer can do with 4K. And as far as I understand, if I run this benchmark without turning on not the Asus, if I turn off Asus GPU Tweak and I turn on Precision X, that's the only way I can actually get this benchmark to go through, because GPU Tweak, like I said before, is complete garbage. It won't turn the fans on fast enough to compensate for the heat that's being, you know, distributed throughout the system, so it'll shut off at 93, I believe. So I'm trying to keep it below 85 right now. It's sitting at 75 degrees Celsius on load, and it's just ridiculous. I mean, you're looking at Unigine Heaven fully maxed out. We're talking the tessellation, the resolution, textures, everything is maxed. And right now, we're getting a considerably low frame rate of 25 to 30 frames per second. Now, since it's at the ship scene, it's going to get a higher frame rate. But those rocks usually just kill the system. And it's just amazing to see how one GTX 980 Ti could effectively basically run a 4K game, which I have played Halo Online, 4K, 60 frames per second, all maxed out, not even stressing the GPU. And that's a good example of a competitive first-person shooter that will run flawlessly online. And this thing, to get into what the on-screen display has, the menu options, it has a very clunky yet semi-working menu system on-screen display. You have to kind of read the manual if you're new to these kind of menu options. But this thing, what I really like about it, is that it has, if I can get to it, you guys can kind of see how clunky it is by me navigating it. But it has a on-screen display where you can do a bunch of different cool things with it. Let's see if I can... Oh, fuck. That's an example of either me being a retard or how clunky this thing is. So, hold on. So we can go down to, let's see, the on-screen display. Now click here, and you can turn the refresh rate on or off. That's on the monitor, not on the actual computer itself, which is kind of cool. You can also do something really cheap for competitive play, and I will show you real quick. It's just kind of ridiculous. There we go. So we'll go in here, and we'll go all the way down here. And then, haha! See that right there? And then, oh, I don't know if you can see it. But, hold on. Yeah, you can see it now. See if I can make it better. Yeah. You see that? For competitive play, this thing is pretty cheap, because you can get a crosshair right in the middle. You can even adjust it, if I remember correctly. And you can just freaking go ham on people. But, enough of that. I just wanted to show you guys that. So do I recommend this monitor? At this current price point at $1,300, this monitor is only for the 4K, like, die-hard players that want to play 4K. If you want G-Sync, you want 4K, you want 60 Hertz, I would definitely recommend it, especially if you are not too big of a fan of small screens. 28 inches for a computer monitor isn't necessarily small, but at the same time, the 32 inches that this screen has, it gives you more options than just using it as a PC monitor. It would serve as a good gaming monitor, a good multitasking monitor, and just in general, since it has a larger screen, you can just do a lot more on it than you normally could with a 28, 27-inch PC monitor. It's just that those extra inches give it a little bit more usability, in my opinion, and that's why I'd recommend it. But I still think it's pretty high for the asking price of $1,300. Definitely too high, but if you are a big fan and you just can't wait to get a 4K G-Sync monitor that's 32 inches, go ahead. I mean, be my guest. I'm pretty pleased with it myself. It's just all up to you, the consumer.